on winning the AL East. We are ready to go here in Game 2 of the series. Free to Mydroth, and the cutter misses outside, ball 1. Chase Mydroth has been so good here in his rookie season. A .262 batting average for the White Sox. As you hear early on, this is a tradition in the Bronx. The bleacher creatures go through the roll call as they shout out all the players on the field for the Yankees. Brooke brought up a good point, talking about how the young guys on this roster would respond to this atmosphere. How'd you think the rookies like Mydroth, Montgomery, Kyle Teal performed last night?
I thought last night was an excellent game to watch. If you like baseball, you saw a couple of guys have some really good starts, and the rookies did well.
That is a foul ball off the bat of Mydroth. It is time for our live lines presented by Circa Sportsbook. We check out the odds for Max Fried's strikeout total tonight. Over-under is set at 5.5. If you take the over, you got to lay a -145.
Yeah, last time out, he struck out a career-high 13 against Baltimore. So this guy's feeling it. As we showed you that stat earlier on, if you were with us, he has been really good over his last 6.
One ball, 2 strikes to count here to Chase Mydroth. And a swing and a miss on the changeup to start the ball game. It is time for the big story presented by Value City Furniture. We take a look at the American League playoff race. Right now, unbelievable.
I saw the lines on what they were to win the division 10 days ago or so, plus 10,000.
Oh my goodness!
Now they're expected to win it.
Oh my goodness! It is going to be a fun final week here of the regular season. Tapper back to Fried off the bat of Curtis Mead, and there's 2 outs to start this ball game. So the Yankees now a game back with the Blue Jays losing last night against the Red Sox. And the Yankees, they really feel like they have a chance to chase down and win the AL East.
Yeah, it's all out there in front of them, right? I mean, one game back, anything can happen. That was a tough one for the White Sox last night. I mean, we had them, and then last second, out of nowhere, Yankees are able to put up a run and then get that game winner.
I mean, we're talking White Sox were a strike away from closing out a 2-1 win. It was still dramatic even after the wild pitch. And Jose Caballero just delivering the walk-off winner for the Yankees. But this is a young team, including Edgar Quero, guys we have seen all season long. Regardless of the results, they're able to just shake it off. It doesn't affect them, and they come back to the ballpark locked in. 0-2. Guys like Edgar Quero really rise to the occasion against elite pitchers like Max Fried. Quero's a guy who shortens his swing, wants to put the ball in play. See what he does here with 2 outs. Two balls, 2 strikes, the count here to Quero. Quero showing the patience. He has run it now to full.
I always like when Quero's at the plate. I feel like he's going to put up a good at bat, and he's done that again. Coming all the way back, and now 3-2, payoff pitch.
So it's Fried in control with 2 strikeouts in the first. Frazier Ellard to the mound when we come back. So it's Frazier Ellard getting his third start of the season. And the issue with Ellard so far this year has been the command. He's got 10 walks versus 9 strikeouts. So let's see if he can find the zone here to start this ball game. Fastball low inside corner, 1-1 the count here to Trent Grisham. Grisham having a breakout year, career high 33 home runs here in the leadoff spot for the Yankees. Now this would have been Martin Perez's spot in the rotation, but Perez is done for the season with a left shoulder strain. Good news for Martin is that he is not going to need major surgery in the offseason. It's one of those things that he can rest, rehab, strengthen, and potentially come back next year.
Will he need any type of surgery?
I don't believe so at this point.
Okay. That's good. Martin's a great presence in the clubhouse. I know he got hurt, but a lot of guys liked him.
He was a guy, even when he was out for those 4 months, still hung around the team, still traveled with the team on the road, did his rehab around all the young guys. As a walk by Frazier Ellard to start this bottom of the first. Well, here comes the big man, Aaron Judge, and what he does versus fastballs, because Frazier Ellard loves to throw the heat.
Yeah, we talked about it, right? Looking at his arsenal, about 70% of the time he's throwing that fastball or sinker, and so this is a matchup that you don't want to see, especially with Grisham with the walk getting on ahead of Judge.
Fastball, and it's Judge fouling it straight back.
It's interesting to see Judge go after the first pitch there because generally he's very selective early in the game and opens it up a little bit later. He knows as well as we do the numbers on Ellard, and he's going after it.
It's going to be a wild pitch from Ellard as Grisham will take second base.
This one handcuffs Caro behind the plate a little bit. Ball definitely bounces in front of the plate, but Caro didn't get in front of it. Man on second.
Fastball as Judge takes that one for strike 2. Over his last 12 games, Aaron Judge is hitting .405 with 5 home runs and 16 runs scored. Ooh, another big swing at that heater as he just missed it.
Watching him swing at that pitch live made me very nervous. Frazier's got to find a way to get on the edge away, kind of like he did with that one. It was outer third. I'd like to see it a little further down. Yeah, it looked like Caro didn't like where that pitch was.
The appeal to first base. That is Clint Vondrak on the call. Said he did not go there. Ball 2.
That's close, but when you're Aaron Judge, you get that call.
Runner on at second, 2-2 pitch. And the fastball misses down and in. So Frazier Ellard has run the count full now to the second batter in a row. And we talked about the command issues for Ellard here in the month of September in just over 8 innings of work. More walks than strikeouts. And that one misses down as he has walked the first 2 here tonight.
Well, we talked about it. Aaron Judge loves to hunt fastballs. This is exactly what he did. Ellard just a little bit all over the place right now. It's either kind of in the middle of the plate or it's nowhere close, and it was an easy take right there. Last pitch for Judge. Down, not super competitive, unfortunately, for Ellard. And the Yankees, they got something cooking. First and second, nobody out, John.
Well, the bullpen for the White Sox is scurrying now as Ethan Katz comes on to kill some time and let the bullpen get ready. As here's the plan, Jonathan Cannon getting up and throwing.
We knew we'd see him. We were hoping we would see Cannon in the second inning, not the first. Eller's going to have to work hard. He's got lefty on lefty right here with Bellinger. Good chance for a potential double play. Try to find a way to get him to roll over to Mydroff. Mydroff and Montgomery up the middle. Little double play action to kind of get him back in the driver's seat in this bottom of the first.
First and second, nobody out for Cody Bellinger. And the slider misses in the dirt from Ellard. It's the Yankees team, a season-high 21 games over 500. Best record in Major League Baseball since August 11th. They are red hot right now. And when you hear that a team like that, with the best record in baseball since August 11th, isn't satisfied, you worry about how much damage this team can do.
That's just New York in general. Aaron Boone's gone to the playoffs almost every year, and they're like, hey, he's not doing enough.
Six straight balls from Frazier Ellard. And he doesn't get the call there. Ball 4. He has walked the bases loaded to start this bottom of the first. Well, this is certainly not going according to plan right now.
Indeed, it is not, John. You know, one thing, Edgar, I need to see him, though. It's not going well. He's got to find a way to try to catch a corner and frame that ball to give Ellard a chance. That ball was close. Anytime your pitchers can't find the zone, you got to find something. Show them an early target. Get in front of that. Get underneath it. Find a way to get that ball back in the zone.
He has now missed 9 in a row. And this is not the team you can give free passes to. A 3-0 to Stanton, and instead it's going to be Ellard stepping off. Here's his pitch. Stanton taken all the way. Nothing but fastballs here to start this at bat to Stanton. As Eller tries to get back on track. 3-1.
Here it is. See what happens when he throws it down there. 3-1. They know it's coming. Still can't hit it.
Off the end of the bat into shallow right field. It is Baldwin coming in. He will make the catch. All the runners stay put. And there's the first out.
An absolutely huge out right here. We're going to go pitch by pitch. As you saw, 3 in a row to go down 3-0 with the bases loaded to Stanton. But then he throws one in there, gets a swing and a miss, and then gets Stanton to pop up. An absolutely enormous out right here in the pace of this game. Eller's got one out. Still work to do with Ben Rice at the plate.
And Ben Rice has been one of the hottest hitters on this Yankees team. 7 hits in his last 9 at-bats entering play tonight. And in his last 11 games, this young man is hitting .459 as we are now starting to see some rain fall here in the Bronx.
One pitch away, John. One pitch away, baby.
Ellard walked the bases loaded here in this first, trying to get out of the jam. This is up and in. That is Phil Cuzzy on the call at third. Says Rice did not go around ball 2. Yankees do damage with the bases loaded. New York has 9 grand slams this season, and the young man at the plate, Ben Rice, he's got one of them. Ellard's got to be careful with this 3-1, and it's fouled away. A lot of pitches here in this first inning. Three-two. It seems like Ellard has settled down. He is starting to find the strike zone. But still does not have a huge margin for error right now. Here's the payoff. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Big punch out.
Never a doubt, John. Goes down 3-1 and then just throws a beautiful slider front hip. And it looks like that's going to be it for Ellard. He does a good job to come back after those 3 walks. I don't think we thought we were going to get 2 with nobody scoring. Chance to get out of it right here for the Sox.
So with the rain coming down harder, a pitching change with 2 outs, bases loaded in the first.
Take a deep breath, find out who he is, remember who he is, get back to throwing strikes. We'll see how that fares today. He's got Paul Goldschmidt, and the bases loaded here with 2 outs.
Starts him off, sweeper, strike 1 from Jonathan Cannon. Well, Venable says he's a guy who pitches to contact. So he's got to be around the strike zone. He cannot give up walks here tonight. Goldschmidt versus righties and versus lefties. Down the line in right field, but slicing foul.
I didn't expect the rain when I did the weather earlier, right? I was expecting it maybe later in the evening, around 10, per my research, but
we're expecting a lot of rain tomorrow night.
Right. A little drizzle right now.
It's come a little early here in the Bronx. Upstairs. How about that, Houdini? Sox pitchers walk the bases loaded, but nothing pushed across. Bases loaded jam with a strikeout, and the Sox with a little momentum heading into this second inning. Don't expect to see that. You walk the bases loaded, nobody out, and the White Sox keep this game scoreless.
Just how we drew it up.
We didn't draw it up like that.
No, we did not.
Miguel Vargas with his first at bat here tonight against Max Fried, who struck out 2 in the first inning. Breaking ball, and that one is ripped into left field. A single for Vargas to start this second inning. How about a scoop from the clubhouse? We check in with Brooke.
Yeah, John, you touched on Mike Tauchman and how he's going to be out for the remainder of the season with that torn meniscus there. Will Venable really praised him before the game, not only for what he's done on the field, but also for his veteran presence and what it's meant for this young group in the clubhouse. Colson Montgomery really being one of them. He told me he's really leaned on Mike throughout the season. He said, listen, he's been a part of some of the more notable organizations in baseball, the Yankees being one of them, playing alongside some of the best in the game. So being able to pick his brain when it comes to approach, how you go about your routine every single day, he said it's really helped him just transition at this level, guys.
Well, you know a guy who really praised Mike Tauchman for what he's done for him? The man at the plate right now, Colson Montgomery. Talked about it before the game and just said his at-bat yesterday where he hit that 2-run shot, he had talked previously in the dugout to Mike Tauchman, and Tauchman told him, you're only going to get one quality at-bat against Luis Gil. Make him pay. As Fried comes to first.
Gosh, and it's one thing that we haven't talked about, but Max Fried has an incredible pickoff move and almost got Vargas with his first one of the night. Also glad that Brooke brought her rain jacket. There was a question if she was going to bring it or not. She went back up to the room, got it. Thank God.
Always prepared. Time to look at tonight's player props presented by Bet365. Gordon, make some people some money on Colson Montgomery tonight.
Well, I think we got to tamper the home run talk here. This is lefty on lefty, good on good. I like a hit, right? I mean, just put some money out there for a hit.
That's
what we're hoping for.
Love to see just how Colson Montgomery has developed his approach at the plate. Said with that home run that he hit, saw a changeup earlier in a couple of bats, and he said, I recognized the movement, and if it started in a certain place, I was going to take a big swing at it. And that's what he did to get that home run and give the White Sox a 2-1 lead last night.
Yeah, for me, I like that approach because sometimes the pitcher will show you something that you're like, I need to be looking for that pitch. Heel liked to throw his changeup, and he felt like he could handle it. And so Colson goes up there and said, I'm looking for that pitch in that spot. He got it, and he did not miss it.
3-1 crushes this one into right field, and it's going to one-hop off the wall. So Montgomery will stop at first as Judge's throw comes back in, with Vargas getting to third. And a 6-game hitting streak now for the rookie, Colson Montgomery.
Great swing right here by Colson. 3-1, have some fun, right? Gets it a little bit off the hands. They wanted it away. If it had been away, it might have been a little bit more damage. There it is right there. Nice swing by Colson. I'm telling you, he's got a great move to the ball. And when he hits it, it gets stung pretty good. And a smart play right here to not go on Judge. He's got a cannon. First and third, nobody out.
And we've talked a lot about building into the offseason and having that preparation, having some tape, the things you want to work on. That's an at-bat that Colson Montgomery can take into the offseason and say, look, I can hit lefties, especially one of the best lefties in the game right now. Curveball misses upstairs. Ball 2 here to Lenine Sosa.
This is about confidence, and when you have Colson starting to understand what he's doing at the big league level, start to make some adjustments, looking for a changeup. That's a different approach, and I like it. Obviously, it worked out. I like what I'm seeing.
Sosa the big swing to left field, but it is Bellinger. Hits underneath. Vargas tagging from third. He will score easily. And it's the Sox getting on the board first. RBI sac fly for Lenine Sosa. 1-0 here in the second.
Good baseball right here. Lenine gets a pitch up in the zone. He juices it to left. Just gets under it, but it's plenty to get a sac fly and knock in Miguel Vargas. A good top of the second right here after the White Sox thwarted disaster in the bottom of the first.
Well, because of a couple outfielders have been placed on the injured list and their seasons are done, Andrew Benintendi, Mike Tauchman here today. Corey Julks will get the start here tonight in left field. Another one of the roster moves for the White Sox. They claimed Derek Hill off waivers from Miami. Wasn't in the clubhouse before the game. He was en route to the ballpark. Julks pounds into the ground at third. McMahon goes to second, and his throw gets away from Chisholm Jr. as Montgomery stays put at second.
What a turn of events, John. I mean, it looked like the White Sox were going to be in deep trouble in the first. They get out of it somehow. Now they've got more action going. Gosh, that looks like that ball's got to be caught. It wasn't the best throw by McMahon, but Chisholm unable to handle it. Definitely not the best throw. Let's see right here. Yeah, it looks like he could have caught that just a little bit nonchalant, and because of it, it's first and second. That's a wild one right there.
So E5 off the low throw by McMahon. And let's see if the White Sox can take advantage of a sloppy play in the infield.
We talked about it last night, that play out in center field where they should have probably caught the ball that Teal hit. They didn't, and then Colson made him pay. This is the exact same spot. Obviously, we know the Yankees can score a lot of runs in a hurry. White Sox got to take advantage of another miscue here in the second game tonight.
Baldwin swings through that sinker. Baldwin got the start in center field last night. He starts here in right field as the White Sox continue to develop the young outfielder, playing all three outfield positions this season. The other thing that error does, it makes the starter free to throw some extra pitches here in the second inning. In the air to left center field. It's going to be the center fielder Grisham taking over. And he makes the catch for out number 2. Here, Chicago White Sox are presented by Rate, a top mortgage lender in America, proud to celebrate 125 years of baseball. With next-level technology, competitive rates, and a fast process, Rate makes your home buying journey simple and stress-free. Rate, your home team. Get in the game at rate.com. Michael A. Taylor is the only remaining veteran outfielder that started with the White Sox on opening day. Got Benintendi and Tauchman on the injured list. Their seasons are done. Austin Slater was traded away at the deadline to the Yankees. And Michael A. Taylor, the fourth outfielder, the only one still remaining here.
Yeah, I think Michael A. Taylor and Tauchman, among the rest of the guys, have been great additions to help these young kids start to learn how to play at a big league level here where it matters most, under the lights with the 3 decks, right? I mean, that's exactly what they were brought in on, and Tauchman has played wonderfully. I mean, he's been a great influence, but he's also been very good on the field, I think. A lot of good things to like about both these guys. Michael A. Taylor, the same thing. He's had some big hits this year. And teaching the guys how to go about their business in the big leagues, that's a learned skill, and they've done a good job.
Tauchman made it very clear before the game. He said, I would love to be back here with the White Sox next season. He said, I love what is building. I love the role that the White Sox have allowed me to have this year. And he's going to get surgery on Tuesday. He said it should be about a 5-week recovery. Changeup misses outside. Count is even here at 2-2 for Taylor. There'll be a lot of decisions the White Sox will have to make heading into the offseason. You have this young core. Now, what pieces do you want to put around them heading into 2026? Let's go back to Saturday against the Padres. This diving play and doubling up the runner at first. Posting, showing guys that once you step foot between the lines, you better give it your entire 100% effort.
Yeah, he did that. I never realized that you could use the netting like that. Instead of going in hard, now you got the netting, just throws you right back out.
Last night, it was an absolute thrill. Doesn't try to turn his way away from that pitch, but it still caught the inside corner with the changeup. How important of an outing is this for Jonathan Cannon here tonight?
I think mentally it's important, right? I mean, obviously you get sent down. There's some mixed emotions about that because obviously you want to be in the big leagues, but you also need to go work on your craft. If I know Jonathan well, though, he worked on his craft. He took it as a learning experience, and so far he's looked pretty sharp. But it definitely, mentally, you want to come out and have a good outing here because you want to remind yourself that you can compete at this level.
Ooh, swing and a miss. It is back-to-back strikeouts for Cannon.
Time now for the best in the game, brought to you by T-Mobile, and we're going to go back to the bottom of the first. This was an absolute Houdini act. 3. Cannon, who strikes out Paul Goldschmidt. I mean, when it started, and that inning started after those 3 walks, I don't think that we thought they were going to be leaving with the 0, but they did, and now they're up 1-0.
It was Anthony Volpe who started off that bottom of the 9th with a single that started that 2-run rally to walk it off for the Yankees in the 9th. They mentioned a reset in the season for Jonathan Cannon. That's something we've seen the White Sox do with multiple players in the organization this year. The biggest one, Colson Montgomery, pulled him from his AAA season, sent him to Arizona to get his swing back on track. They pulled Jonathan Cannon to reset him. They pulled Sean Burke to reset him as well.
All these guys are young players. I mean, I really look back at my career, and I needed a reset like that in the first 2 years. After my rookie season, I probably needed a reset in my sophomore and third year. Just to get back, take a breath. I think it shows some good foresight by the White Sox front office because they're reading what's going on with the player, and sometimes in the big leagues it can speed up on you. That's not a good feeling to have. Send them down, take a breath, come back and compete.
That pitch catching a piece of Edgar Caro behind the plate. Like a true catcher, just adjust the mask and he's ready to go. Two-two pitch here to Volpe. Something we're noticing from Jonathan Cannon is his rhythm looks really good. He's working fast. He's deliberate, getting the sign that he sends to his catcher, and he says, "Let's go." 2-2. Pulled down the line in left field. And that one's going to go off the wall. Julks will play it off to Karam. His throw to second. Not in time as Volpe, a one-out double here in the second inning.
First hit of the night for the Yankees, and it's just a backup sweeper. Just doesn't get down over that, gets around it a little bit, and just kind of floats in there. Volpe smokes this ball. One hops the outfield fencing there in left field. Off the wall. Schultz with a good throw home, but Volpe can run a little bit. And first knock for the Yankees. They're threatening.
Ryan McMahon, since the trade deadline, came over from the Rockies. He has struggled at the plate in pinstripes. Somebody that talked to Austin Slater yesterday in the clubhouse. Asked him the difference, and he's been with the Giants, he's been with the White Sox now, Austin Slater with the Yankees. I said, what is it like playing in New York? He said, you definitely feel the pressure. And it's not just from the media. He said also inside the clubhouse, there is an expectation of, it's not just you get to the playoffs, you have to win it all. That is the expectation when you play in New York. Wow, look at that. Nasty cutter, sends him down to a knee, strike one.
(2-0) out of the zone, but McMahon trying to do something, a little bit anxious up there, goes after one he shouldn't have.
And it's that pressure in New York that not every player can handle and embrace. Some guys love it, some guys thrive on it, other guys, it's just not for them. That is the Yankees team hot right now. Swing and a miss. Jonathan Cannon, strikeout number 3. Let's go to Brooke for some news and notes.
Well, gentlemen, we love all of the drama. Let's start with the Mets taking down the Cubs. They now hold that third NL. tonight or an Astros loss in Sacramento.
There are so many scenarios in the American League and the National League in play here in this final week of the regular season.
I really feel like 3 weeks ago it was kind of a lackluster finish, or a lot of people are at least thinking that. Now all of a sudden you've got multiple races in question. Wow, what a change of events over the last 15 days.
One game in action right now in Toronto. It's the Red Sox with a 3-0 lead over the Blue Jays. That one bottom of the third inning. If the Blue Jays lose and the Yankees win, both teams will be tied atop the AL East. All right, let's start with the National League playoff picture. The Mets with the win last night over the Cubs. They now retake the final spot in the wild card. But somehow the Diamondbacks and the Reds have not gone away yet. There is still a race for that final spot. Changeup misses. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike here to Trent Grisham. The other thing interesting about that NL playoff picture, the Padres have won 4 games in a row, just a game and a half back in the NL West. Also just a game and a half back of the Cubs for that top spot in the wild card. So the Cubs are not guaranteed to host that first playoff series.
It's a big deal, right? I mean, if the Padres can flip the script there and they're hosting that wild card game, or like you said, possibly, outside chance to get the NL West, a lot on the line. A lot of flip-flopping going on. Some teams still in it that didn't think they would be.
Changeup is in there. Now, the interesting thing, if the Padres and Cubs have the same record at the end of the year, they split the season series 3 games apiece. You then go to the divisional records, and the Padres have a better divisional record than the Cubs, so they would hold the tiebreaker. Runner on at second. The 3-2. And the fastball misses. Ball 4. Well, get out your camera because Aaron Judge is stepping to the plate with runners on at first and second. Sits at 49 home runs on the season. And he took some big hacks his first time up, seeing some fastballs from Frazier Ellard. This one is a shot into center field. Taylor going back at the wall. History for Aaron Judge here in the Bronx. His 50th home run of the season. The 4th season he has done that. And the list that he has joined is now impressive. Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge, what a player he is. You can see who he's tied with now. Baseball royalty.
That's what he's done in franchise history with the Yankees. But in terms of Major League Baseball history, he now ties Babe Ruth, Mark McGwire, and Sammy Sosa for the most 50 home run seasons in the history of the game with his 4th season doing it.
He's a special talent, one of the biggest guys in the league, and he just is able to flick balls out no matter where. He didn't even hit that ball as well as he could, and it's still in the Yankees bullpen, and the Yankees are up 3-1.
Bellinger pops this one up from the grass. Montgomery makes the catch. But the big blast, Aaron Judge with a 3.
there. Maybe you try to throw a fastball later in the count, maybe way up, get his eyes up there, and then go back below the zone. But either way, Aaron Judge got it, and he didn't miss it.
With the batting average that he has this season, and now reaching 50 home runs, does he get the American League MVP?
It's a great question. I mean, Cal Raleigh and him, it's a one-person, two-people race, excuse me. I mean, watching what he's done and to tie Babe Ruth with those 50 home run seasons, I mean, it's like, man, like, it's unbelievable what he's done. And not only is it unbelievable what he is on the field, this guy is a first-rate talent off the field. He is as good as they come. He is always looking after his teammates. I spent some time with him. He made sure everybody got in an Uber before he went to dinner, before he got in his Uber. The captain over here. This guy is just a pro's pro, loves his teammates. I guess what I'm saying is when you have to play against somebody and he's that good, you hope that he's a good person also, and 100% he is a true top-of-the-line character guy.
And it's not just for New York. He is the face of Major League Baseball along with Shohei Ohtani. Grounded to short. It is Volpe on the move. As Mydrop is retired to start this third inning. This half inning is brought to you by Hyundai. Well, the White Sox certainly walked it, but could not come away unscathed in the second after Judge hit that 3-run shot. This building is still buzzing from that home run. I mean, that's all it takes. One swing of the bat from Aaron Judge can completely change the course of a game. White Sox with 2 hits tonight off Max Fried, as he has not been as dialed in with his command so far here tonight. He's been good recently this last month. Last 6 starts, he's 5-0 with an ERA of 1.6. And really, when Fried got back to the stuff that he has shown these last 6 starts, that's when the Yankees really took off as a team. Drilled down the line and left, but hooking foul. Payoff pitch here to Curtis Mead. Into center field. This is Grisham drifting to his right to make the grab. Route number 2. It is time for tonight's memorable moment presented by Prevagen. On this date in 2023, Luis Robert Jr. stole his 20th base. Turn to that 2023 form. As Robert Jr., another one of the outfielders who will end this season on the injured list. Tapper back to Fried. And a flip to first as Caro is retired. Bottom of third to go. Sox down 3. Sox fan, we have seen some young stars budding here in their rookie season for Chicago.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think a lot to look forward to, right? I mean, having these guys start the season next year, I think there's a lot of excitement. We'll have to see where it goes. Still going to take some time, but help is here and more is on the way.
Jonathan Cannon. This is outside to Giancarlo Stanton. This half inning is brought to you by Bet365. If the White Sox lose tonight, that would be loss number 100 this season. It would be the third straight season for the White Sox with 100 or more losses. Clearly, nobody inside the organization is happy with the win-loss record this year. As this one's on the ground, it is Meade at third. And one out here in this bottom of the third inning. But there are a lot of positives to take away. And to your point, there is light at the end of the tunnel for this young core.
Yeah, sure is. I mean, you got whenever you can have a second baseman and shortstop that are young, that are playing pretty much every day, for me, that's a big deal. You know, and you hope that Luis Robert Jr. comes back next year and he's got a little bit of a rebound, kind of trending more back in the direction of 2023, staying healthy. There's a lot to like, though, and you've got these young pitchers. Yes, there were some ups and downs, but overall, I feel like there's some guys you can build around, right? And then you've got some guys in the minor leagues that have a chance to be superstars, and Hagen Smith and Noah Schultz, and there's some help on the way.
Mike Talkman said the difference between when he came up as a young guy versus when a lot of young guys are coming up nowadays is that it seems like a lot of guys are getting kind of rushed through the minor league system. So as they develop, they have to develop here in the big leagues, in front of all the eyes, in front of all the lights. And he said the biggest thing for these young players this year was just the playing time, to be able to be out here on the field together for this learning experience. This one is hit to the gap, and it's off the glove of Taylor. Baldwin's going to have to chase it down as Rice continues to run as he slides into third.
Michael A. almost making a great play out in deep right center. Let's watch what happened here. Yeah, got his glove out there, just couldn't handle it. It's going to be a triple for Rice, and Yankees are threatening again. Only one out. Rice on third base.
So that is now the third hit for the Yankees tonight, and all three of them have been for extra bases. That triple from Rice, the home run from Aaron Judge, and a double from Anthony Volpe. And now the infield will come in with Paul Goldschmidt at the plate. Goldschmidt, one of the veterans here on this Yankees team at 38 years old. Oh, another young man the White Sox can build around. Shane Smith and what he did against the Yankees. 8. That's what he brings, a veteran presence, poking it into right field. As Rice is driven in, it's now a 4-1 Yankees lead.
This ball looked away. Yeah, it's off the plate away, but you see how big Goldschmidt's bat is. He just reaches out and pokes it right off the end of the bat, but enough to get over the first baseman Vargas's jump, and it's 4-1. White Sox have to be careful. They're going to have to chase down these Yankees. Can't let them get too far away.
All right, a couple updates. After 3, it is the Guardians with a 2-1 lead over Detroit. George Valera, who was just called up today for David Fry, who got hit in the face with that pitch yesterday, had a 2-run shot to give Cleveland the lead so far, that one in Cleveland. Big shot in the left center field. Taylor on the move. He's not going to get there. Chisholm Jr. will stop at second. Goldschmidt continues to run. He scores without a throw. It's now 5-1. Yankees on top here in the third.
Yankees starting to get pretty comfortable at the plate. Let's see where this pitch was. It's another fastball, outer third. Jazz Chisholm just goes with it right here, and it tails away from Michael Taylor in center field, kind of in no man's land, and they don't get the ball in super quick. Goldschmidt runs through a stop sign and scores the run.
Was that miscommunication on the infield? Because Goldschmidt had just rounded third when the relay was caught.
Yeah, we'd have to probably look at it again. I think in a way that ball kind of was slow getting in. I think Goldschmidt kind of felt that, and that's why he went through that stop sign. A lot of times, Rojas, the third base coach for the Yankees, he's stopping him based on where they are in the game and also the runner. Goldschmidt, not the best runner. They want to keep him healthy. That's a chance they're taking by him going, but Goldschmidt felt good enough about it and makes the right decision, really.
All right, Gordon, break it down. Let's walk through this relay.
Yeah, the ball's out there in deep left center, right? And so here, that ball kind of rattles around a little bit. That ball is just getting caught now. So, I mean, I don't think there's any miscommunication there by the middle infielders. That ball, there's no way they're going to be able to throw Goldschmidt out at home plate. And a lot of times that's because of where Montgomery caught the ball. The ball had to short hop him. He kind of caught it moving back out to center field. When you have no momentum, there's not going to be any momentum on that throw. That's going to be a 100 and 200-foot throw. And on your back foot, no chance to get him at home. So, for me, it was a double all the way, and not surprised it's an RBI with it.
We're seeing the Yankees put up some big swings now against Jonathan Cannon here in this third inning. Triple, RBI single, and an RBI double with Anthony Volpe now at the plate. Volpe doubled and scored his first time up. Oh-2 from Cannon. High in the air to shallow center. Taylor comes in to make this catch. And there's two away here in the bottom of the third. Ryan McMahon went down swinging his first time up in the second inning. One of 3 strikeouts tonight for Jonathan Cannon as he gets the whiff on the changeup, strike one. You can tell a lot of these Yankee hitters coming out aggressive looking for fastball, strike one. Take a look at the slugging percentage by pitch type. This Yankees team loves the fastball.
Sure do. Kind of makes what Shane Smith did last night even more impressive, though. Because we've talked a little bit about how much they like fastballs. Well, last night Shane Smith said, "Here it is," and he was electric. I mean, I talked to him before the game, and he was walking through the dugout, and I just said, "Hey, you did that with one pitch." And he was like, "Yeah, I didn't really have my other stuff." I mean, yeah, he threw a couple of decent curveballs. His changeup was okay, but his fastball dominated the night. And sometimes that's all you need if you've got that good of pitches.
Change up the wipeout as the Yankees lead it 5-1. When we come. The Yankees put up 3 in the second, 2 in the third. White Sox scoring their only run in the second inning. But it was Miguel Vargas who started that. Singled and scored in the second as he looks to repeat here against Max Fried. Fried signed that monster contract in the offseason after spending 8 years with the Braves. 8-year, $218 million deal. And you would say he had a very successful first year here with the Yankees. Leads Major League Baseball with 18 wins coming into tonight. And this is his final start of the regular season, getting ready for postseason play. 2-2. In his career against the AL Central, well, he's been pretty good. A perfect 9-0.
Not ideal.
No.
If you're the AL Central.
Curveball missing outside. Good take from Vargas. But he is a guy that pitching coach Ethan Katz knows very well. Back in high school, Max Fried pitched at Harvard Westlake in California, where Ethan Katz was the pitching coach. Oh, tough call there. Well, Colson Montgomery had the big shot last night, a 2-run home run against Luis Gil. And he said he was looking for the changeup in a spot he could handle it.
Way away from home plate.
You said you really enjoy the fact that he's looking for a certain pitch type and just honing in what he's trying to do at the plate.
I just like that there's a plan. Sometimes the play doesn't even have to be a good plan. At least there's a plan.
This one down the line in left field. Long run for Bellinger. And he's not going to get there. It's a fair ball. Hops into the stands. A double here for Montgomery in the fourth.
And then you do things like that. Those are not a part of the plan. But you know what? A bloop double is par for the course right now for him. We'll take it, right? Look at that. Just fastball. Kind of gets in on the hands a little bit. But this ball's a long way from Bellinger and left. And because of that, can't get to it. Yep, no chance for Bellinger right there. Another good hit right there that Colson will take. Second of the night.
Well, we have hyped up the matchup between Fried and Montgomery, and the rookie has won the first 2 rounds with a single and now a double.
Yeah, these are just important at bats because he's saying, okay, Max Fried, one of the best lefties in baseball. I went toe-to-toe with him. I had one hard hit ball. I got lucky on another. But so far, he's handled the moment pretty well.
Sosa down the line, but this one into the seats, foul.
And that's just building confidence for next year. He's going to be in these moments. He's going to have moments where he's not feeling good at the plate. Coming into tonight or last night, he kind of felt like he wasn't swinging the bat well. He was kind of in a little bit of a funk, and then all of a sudden the lights turn on in a big situation, and he changes the scoreboard. That is all confidence builders moving forward.
Swing and a miss on the changeup. It is time now for a message from Xfinity.
With Xfinity, we can stream America's pastime with no hiccups, even in extra innings.
That's a TV.
I'll replace that.
From grand slams to no-hitters, stream live baseball with Wi-Fi built for the biggest moments with 99.99% network reliability.
Corey Julks reached on an error back in the second, 0 for 1. Swings at the first pitch here in the center. And that'll do it for this top of the 4th inning. So far, it is the Yankees on top. 5.
Access Plan. Over 300 games per year, including your Chicago White Sox. Chicago Sports Network, where Chicago comes first.
Got some Sox fans in the house here at Yankee Stadium. White Sox fans witnessed a thriller last night. On the ground on the right side, Vargas backhand will flip to Jonathan Cannon. And the big man steps up, Aaron Judge. This is what he did back in the second.
Yeah, last time up, first pitch fast. For most 50 home run seasons in Yankee history. Once again, ties Babe Ruth for most seasons with 50 home runs at 4.
Don't forget Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa also on that list. And to go along with the season that he's having, hitting for average, hitting for power, he has also tied Ted Williams for the American League record with 34 intentional walks this season. Two-one here to Judge. And you notice a little more off-speed stuff here in this second time for Jonathan Cannon facing Aaron Judge. Judge with 6 hits against the White Sox so far this season. 3 of them home runs. 2-2. On the positive note for Jonathan Cannon, the velocity is ticking up. 97. We're used to seeing him sit around 94, 95. Aaron Judge, another big blast, but this one it stays in for Taylor to make the grab for out number 2. Sign up to become a White Sox insider. Free registration includes special offers, exclusive ticket pre-sales, and access to other exciting Sox content. Plus, you'll automatically be entered into the Ultimate Fan Sweepstakes for a chance to win one-of-a-kind experiences all season long. Learn more at whitesox.com/insider. Seems like the changeup has been one of the better pitches tonight for Jonathan Cannon.
I agree. I'm just thinking that.
Goes with it again. Meade off his back foot and just cannot get enough on that throw to get Bellinger, who is safe at first.
Yeah, almost a great play right here. Kind of catches Meade and everybody else off guard. Watch how far off the line he's playing. And he does stab it, but no chance to get a speedy Bellinger. I think the only chance he's got right there, instead of coming set, it's like almost just catch it, run with it, and throw the sailfish across and hope that it just lands in the mitt of Vargas. Either way, going to be a tough play.
You mean try to pull off the Jeter here at Yankee Stadium?
It's basically, yeah, that's a good way to describe it. In Jeter's house, basically. Just catch it, jump, throw, and hope for the best.
It's amazing how many guys on the field grew up idolizing Derek Jeter. Colson Montgomery saying that was his guy growing up. He was a huge Yankee fan. His dad, TJ, they would watch Derek Jeter together. And Colson Montgomery proving he also can be a tall shortstop, as that one corralled by Vargas at first.
Former teammates right there. Out in L.A.
Oh, 2 to Stanton. Jonathan Cannon, when he locates the fastball, he has been effective here tonight. That is his 5th strikeout since coming out of the bullpen. Much they have left to play for here. And the youngsters getting a feel of what it feels like to play with some pressure and things on the line.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see them make a good comeback right here, right? I mean, find a way to get back in this ball game.
Here is Fried fielding, throwing. And the ball comes loose as Goldschmidt not able to hold on to it. And Baldwin safe at first.
And maybe that's what they need, a little catalyst, like little bloop right there. Max Fried really good at fielding his position. You see his glove. There's some gold on that, and that's for a reason. But this one's a little low, and Goldschmidt unable to dig it out of the dirt. Probably would have had him with a pick, but Baldwin gets on. It's going to be a single for him, and find a way to get back in this game. I think the White Sox would do good. More confidence going into the offseason, knowing they can make these comebacks even against really good teams in playoff atmosphere situations.
Brooks Baldwin now has 23 hits over his last 19 road games as Fried gets that slow delivery to the plate. You know, the other positive coming away from last night, even though it was a really tough loss for the White Sox, Will Venable looked back over the film and the tape to figure out what they could have done differently in that game, and not even necessarily in that ninth inning, but throughout the game. What could they have done to scratch across another run? And the White Sox are trying to analyze all the situations where maybe they should have laid down a bunt here or there, or moved the runners here, get somebody in motion. And that's what this team is starting to think, how they can really change some things heading into next year. Two balls and a strike to Taylor.
Yeah, last night when Baldwin had that double to lead off the inning, right? You're thinking to yourself, okay, Lenine Sosa's up, but Lenine's been one of our better, more consistent hitters. And then you've got Will Robertson, who's been with the team for a very short period of time, and then the 9-hole hitter, Dominic Fletcher. And so if you bunt him over there, yeah, a fly ball could be hit by Will, and it's a sac fly, and you get another run, and it's important. But also, it's like, what happens if he doesn't get the bunt down? Or what happens if you let him swing away and he hits a double in the gap and you're in the same situation? I think it was one of those things where there was no real good decision, that could have been made any differently. And last night, unfortunately, just didn't work out in their favor. Follow our Chicago White Sox on the Chicago Sports Network, presented by Nationwide Insurance agent Jeff Vukovich. Get to enjoy knowing the Vuk as much as you do the jingle at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side.
So we're just done singing it the rest of the way?
Come again?
Nationwide, we're not going to sing anymore.
I just think that ship sailed, and it sailed with our rapport as a duet is just not.
I'll let you sing it by yourself if you want.
No. It's not about me. It's not about me. It's about Nationwide and the agent, Jeff Vukovich.
You know what it's about? It is about Jeff Vuk, who's a great guy. It's about the fans and giving the fans what they want. And repeatedly, the fans have asked to be able to sing along at home with us here in the booth.
Repeatedly, we stink at singing. And so I'm saving their ears and ours, and we're moving on.
Can't argue on that one. 0-2 to my draw. Chopper to the right side. Goldschmidt will step on the back for one as Baldwin gets to second with 2 away. Looking for the best way to start your game day? Well, join us next season and treat your group to a pregame patio party. You get 2 hours of an all-you-can-eat buffet along with unlimited beer, wine, and Coca-Cola products. For more information, visit whitesox.com/party areas or call 312-674-1000. That always has my attention.
Beer, wine, and Coke?
No, all-you-can-eat buffet.
Oh, got it.
Sign me up. Curtis Mead batting in the 2-hole tonight is 0 for 2 so far against Max Fried. Here's pitch number 75 tonight for the Yankees starter. Whips in a tight sweeper, strike 2.
Yeah, that's one of his better breaking balls he's thrown all night. Stayed in the zone a long time. Pretty nasty, too. You see, look at that. Gosh. Starts in the left-hander's batter's box and comes all the way back over to the middle of the plate. Froze Mead.
One, 2. Good stop by Ben Rice behind the plate. Interestingly, this is the first time that Ben Rice has caught Max Fried all season long. And Aaron Boone before the game saying it was very intentional because you might need this matchup at some point in the playoffs. You might need Ben Rice's bat in there. So he wants to get these guys on the same page before the playoff starts. A flare, and this one's going to be caught by Chisholm Jr. as the Sox are retired here in the top of the 5th. His daughter was born with a cleft palate, had to be fed through a feeding tube for the first 3 months of her life, and he said it was a very scary ordeal, a lonely ordeal going through with his wife, and wanted to reach out to other families to make sure that they were not alone. Put together some gift packages, raised over $20,000 for families going through a similar situation. Mike Talkman doing some good stuff both on and off the field this season. 0-2 from Cannon. Rice lifts this one high in the air, deep to left center field. Chasing is Julks. He will get there just shy of the warning track for out number 1. Time now for a message from Powering Chicago.
At Powering Chicago, we build more than electrical infrastructure. We build the future.
Seeing some umbrellas start to pop up again here in this 5th inning. Some light showers falling again here in the Bronx. And Jonathan Cannon. Looks like he got his spike caught there.
They're going to say this is a clock violation because he didn't throw the ball. It's unfortunate, but nobody was on base. Goldschmidt lost his armor right there on the swing. Time for a new strap. And there it goes.
Goldschmidt with a key RBI single his last time up in the 3rd inning. That made it 4-1 Yankees on top. Tyler Alexander, the lefty, getting warm in the White Sox bullpen. 2-2. Sweeper called, strike 3.
I believe this is his sweeper, and it just kind of stays right there. Goldschmidt's expecting that ball to fall off the plate, but it kind of just spins. It's a little backup variety, and because of that, it stays in the zone for strike 3. Kind of an oopsie, but a good one for Jonathan Cannon.
Changeup missing inside. Ball 1 here to Jazz Chisholm Jr. Struck out swinging, and an RBI double in the 3rd. Jonathan Cannon trying to do something that has not been done yet tonight. Retiring the Yankees in order in any frame. Might be able to do it here. Popped up shallow center. Montgomery with the catch, and there it is. Jonathan Cannon, a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the 6th. Since 1900 with 200 innings pitched. This year, just one in Major League Baseball. Max Fried does not look like he will get there this year, as this looks to be his last regular season start. And it looks like we're entering a new era of guys who are just not going that deep in terms of into games, innings pitched in a season. It used to be a source of pride when guys would go 200 innings in a season. As this one's turned over to the left side, McMahon will make the throw over. Is it a different game when you played, Gordon?
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, you see those numbers, it's kind of wild, to watch the fact that most of these guys just aren't getting to that number. And you said it, I mean, spending, it is a different game now, but like when I was coming up and through the first 6 years of my career, 200 innings was the benchmark. Mark Burley, John Danks, Chris Sale, all these guys were talking about getting those 200 innings. And so you can see that there's just been a trend that has moved away from allowing guys to go 3 times through the lineup. A lot of times, if you're getting to that 3rd time through the lineup and it's time to go to the bullpen, they do that. It's just a totally different game in terms of that. And it's shocking to see only one person right now at that 200 level.
And it's an interesting situation the game is in right now because we're seeing more and more starters and pitchers going down with season-ending injuries. And everyone's trying to figure out, what is it? Is it the pitch limit? Is that how we limit the amount of injuries? Is it guys who are throwing too hard? Is it guys who are throwing too much in the offseason? When you see so many young players now getting the injuries, are guys playing travel ball? Are they not playing enough other sports?
I think it's just mostly velo. I think back in the day, there just weren't as many people that threw as hard as they do now. And now it's max effort and as hard as you can throw it. And I think that just limits the innings you can go. And the more innings you throw, the more tax is going to be on that arm. And I think that's generally my non-doctor opinion on why you're seeing more injuries. There's just more stuff trying to get the most out of every pitch.
So the sinker misses down. Ball 4 here to Miguel Vargas. All right, let's take a look at the guys you played with the White Sox, consistently hitting that 200-inning mark.
Yeah, you see Mark Burley, Quintana, Danks, Sale, Peavy, and Samardzija. I mean, and then one year we had 3, right? 2015, you had Samardzija, Quintana, and Chris Sale throwing all 200 innings. That is a wild number when you look at only one person in the big leagues is at that number right now. It was a key for them to a good season to know that they had some length out there. They were putting up the innings, and we talk a lot about it, right? I mean, being able to go out there and be able to get deeper into ball games is such a luxury to have, and I played behind a lot of guys that threw a lot of ground balls, and I mean, we turned a lot of double plays throughout the year because all they knew if they got somebody on, they could get out of that with one pitch, which did limit the pitch count, which kept them in the game longer. And
all right, let's take a look at the double plays turn in the years you were with the White Sox.
Right. So I played third in 2009, but 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, I was mainly at second base. And you see, we were always in the top third of the league in getting ground balls and being able to turn that. So if somebody gets on and all of a sudden it's one pitch and you got a double play, that keeps them in the game longer. And those guys, I mean, Danks, Peavy, Sale, all those guys, Burley, all they wanted to do, somebody got on, throw a sinker, find a way to get somebody to roll over, and me and Alexi did the rest. It was a lot of fun, and, one year we led the league. We were always up at the top, and it was a good way, they always kept us engaged.
Watch out. That is caught by Goldschmidt. And the tag on Vargas, the double play to end this top of the 6th inning. mound.
Tyler Alexander on for the 51st time so far this year. A little over 94 innings pitched. He's got an ERA over 5, and he has got a 4-run deficit as he comes into the game here in the bottom of the 6th. And here's the bullpen usage over the last week of games. A lot of red, meaning they were behind when they entered the game. Hopefully more green this week.
It was a really fascinating conversation we just had about innings pitched and how the game has kind of evolved over the years. When we look at the White Sox starters in terms of innings pitched, it is Shane Smith leading the way with 140 and a third innings. Davis Martin 138 and a third, and Sean Burke at 130 this season. White Sox will not have one pitcher reach 150 innings this season. Anthony Volpe leads off this home half of the 6th inning. In the air to left, Jolks comes in, and he makes the catch. You might think that motorcycles come out of left field, but nope, you just aren't looking. Know your blind spots and start seeing motorcycles. It's not a game. You're a motorcycles guy?
No.
Never been on one?
No.
Not your thing.
No. Too dangerous for me.
You don't live on the wild side.
No. And even less so today with a couple kids.
That's right. You are a family man now.
Right.
You have some responsibilities. Brian McMahon 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out swinging both times. That was against Jonathan Cannon. Cannon known as a guy pitching to contact, but he did have 6 strikeouts tonight. As this one lifted in the air to center, and Taylor is there for out number 2. Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Chicago Southland, where the action never stops. Play the hottest table games, enjoy the newest slots, and celebrate big jackpots. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. Do you give a special shout out or like a certain sign for your boys who are watching?
My boys better be asleep. But no, me and Jet have our own handshake.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of cool. He thinks it's fun. The greatest thing about my son, my oldest son, is when I wink at him, he can't wink, but he always double winks back, like he just blinks. And that's his wink. Kind of funny. It's fun.
Hey, enjoy the stage when your sons still think you're cool.
We're there right now. I mean, total sweet spot with my oldest son being 5 and my younger son about to turn 3. They think that my wife and I, Brittany, hung the moon, and it's a lot of fun. We are in a little bit of a sweet spot. I didn't find it much when I was at the plate, but I found it right now.
It's the second act in life.
That's right.
Top of the lineup, Trent Grisham. And he goes down swinging. Good pitch from Alexander. Just a 10-pitch inning to close out the 6th. against the White Sox, with the Yankees still have a ton to play for. Lenin Sosa leads things off as the White Sox score their lone run back in the second inning. Ground ball. Back to Max Fried. The throw over. How about a trip down on the farm?
Yeah, guys. Well, I'm going to get you caught up on the Southern League Championship Series, where the Barons in Game 2.
Outings from Hagen Smith that he gets his season back on track.
If they win tonight, they win the championship, right? And I think it shows a lot about where this organization is going. Chris Getz, the GM, was here last night when they won that game. He was on a flight today to get down to Birmingham to watch them in that final game, hoping to see them pull out a victory there tonight. I think it just shows this youth movement, and then also Chris going down there, taking time, being intentional with his time, showing that it matters to win at all levels in this organization.
When you can build up as much talent as possible in the minor leagues, and all the young guys can get that competitive spirit together, fighting to get to the big leagues together, that's how you build a foundation in an organization. All right, what do you say we check in on some scores around the league? We talked about the races in the American League. In Toronto, it's the Red Sox with a 4-0 lead over the Blue Jays. That game in the top of the 8th. If that score holds and this score holds here in the Bronx, the Yankees and Blue Jays will be tied for the top of the AL East. Also, the Guardians with a 3-1 lead now over the Tigers. That game is in the bottom of the 6th inning. Swing and a miss on the curve. Another strikeout for Fried. That is number 7. White Sox fans, there is still time to win one-of-a-kind experiences this season. Enter the Ultimate Fan Sweepstakes for your chance to win a 2026 suite for a game. Now, the winner will receive a 20-person suite for a mutually agreed-upon game in 2026. You can host your friends and family in luxury while cheering on the Sox. To enter, visit whitesox.com/sweepstakes. How about the Pirates-Reds game? Reds need that win in order to keep pace with the Mets for the final wildcard spot in the National League. And the Pirates with a 2-1 lead over the Reds. That game is in the top of the 9th inning. How about the pitching matchup that started that game? Paul Skeens versus Hunter Green.
Good one. A couple guys that can throw some very firm fastballs.
And you would think that Paul Skeens has wrapped up the Cy Young Award in the National League tonight. So after Hunter Green left the game, they brought in Chase Burns for the Reds, one of their top prospects, understanding they need that win. Fouled off Baldwin. If Paul Skeens does win the Cy Young, to become just the 3rd Pirates pitcher to win the award. The other 2, Doug Drabeck, 1990, and Vern Law, 1960.
Go ahead, Vern.
Fried at over 100 pitches now. His 2-2.
Vern, Doug, and Paul.
So a walk here to Brooks Baldwin. A second walk allowed by Fried tonight. Comes with 2 outs here in the 7th. What do you think about the White Sox approach at the plate tonight against an ace like Max Fried?
I felt like they had opportunities early, but that's what happens when you have an ace like that come in. He starts to get a little bit of a foothold. He got comfortable, and you see what happened. He started to roll. He's going to get taken out of this game. No, excuse me, that's not Booney. He's going to stay in, I think. He's probably got one more batter, right? This is Michael A. Taylor's going to be his last batter either way. 4th time his last 5 starts with over 100 pitches, so he's ready to go for the postseason. They got some good options in that rotation. They're going to be a tough team, especially in a 3-game set.
Tell you what, I saw some of the images from the celebration last night as Fernando Cruz gets ready in the Yankees bullpen. There was beer flying, champagne flying. Went in the Yankees clubhouse today, not a single scent of any kind of alcohol. They got that thing cleaned up quickly. Big swing and a miss on the curveball. Strike 1 to Michael A. Taylor. Other thing about Fried, he showed that big move early in the game, and a lot of the White Sox runners have been leaning back to the bag at first anytime he lifts his leg.
Yeah, they should be doing that anyways, though. Down 4, can't get picked off.
Down the line in right field. And this one just slices foul. That was close to that short porch in right field. Taylor's 0 for 2 tonight with 2 strikeouts. As Fried gets ready to hurl pitch number 106 tonight. His season high is 111 pitches. Taylor to right field. Backing up is Judge, and that'll do it. Time to stretch here at Yankee Stadium with the Sox down.
lackadaisical. That's when the true pros show up, and that's what these young guys have to understand. They've got to run through that finish line. They can rest in a week.
See the White Sox, how they want to finish this one here tonight. That has been all Yankees so far, as Will Venable watches on. It was Frazier Eller, the opener. Walked the first 3, bases loaded jam in the first inning, but then Jonathan Cannon came on, got the strikeout, keeping this game scoreless. But it was Aaron Judge, his 3-run shot in the second inning, giving the Yankees their first lead of the night. And New York has not looked back ever since. It is Tyler Alexander versus Aaron Judge to start this home half of the 7th. And we're starting to hear some MVP chants amongst the crowd. A 1. And on the hands of Judge out in the center. And this one is going to drop in a no man's land. Second hit tonight for Aaron Judge as he shows you the strength to be able to fight that one off.
Yeah, hits it to right center, takes it over the fence earlier in the game, and this one gets jammed and just throws it out in the perfect spot in right center. Similar direction, much shorter, but nobody's catching this one.
White Sox pitchers had retired 7 in a row before that single from Aaron Judge. Bellinger not able to pull the trigger there. 1-1 the count. As Bellinger is 1 for 2 tonight with a single and a walk. Interestingly, lefties are hitting Tyler Alexander at 288 versus righties 274. Alexander is a guy known to throw a lot of innings coming out of the bullpen as a bulk middle reliever. Bellinger. A big shot to right field. It'll stay in the park as Baldwin makes the catch at the warning track for out number 1. Devin Williams, Paul Blackburn. A couple of righties getting warm for the Yankees. And Carlos Stanton, he gets jammed, and once again, a perfectly placed bloop. And the second hit for the Yankees here in the 7th.
Alexander gets in. Broke his bat, but he needs to check it. And just places it out there perfectly. Majdral giving chase, but unable to come up with it. Couple bloops, and Jason Dominguez will come on to pinch run for Stanton. So Stanton ends his day 1 for 4 with a single.
Wow, so the Reds have now tied the Pirates in the bottom of the ninth at 2. As Cincinnati refuses to go away to try to get that final wild card spot in the National League. Up and into Rice. That one misses, ball 1. Red Sox now a 7-0 lead over the Blue Jays. Not very often you find the Yankees rooting for the Red Sox.
Yeah, that's a good point. Tonight they are, that's for sure. And if these scores hold, like you said earlier, that is going to be some kind of race down the stretch.
The other game tonight with an impact on that wild card race in the National League. The Cubs with a 5-0 lead over the Mets. That one moving into the bottom of the 4th inning.
So if that holds and Cincinnati comes back and wins, they'll be tied, right?
Correct.
Wow. A lot of drama.
First and second with 1 out. Here's the payoff. Into center field. Taylor with the grab as both runners retreat for out number 2. And another game about to get underway out west. The Diamondbacks hosting the Dodgers. And the Diamondbacks, they were down 4. And they came back to win last night. And they trailed just 1 game behind the Mets for the final wild card spot in the National League. And talk about a guy who came up with Arizona. Learned a lot, one of the all-time greats. Here is Paul Goldschmidt. Turns on this one, but a little too far out ahead of it and pulls it foul. And explaining, I had it in my hand.
Yeah, I think his clavicle caught that one. That's one of those ones you kind of get out of the way. He decided to stand in there and wear it like Happy Gilmore.
Snap throw to first. As Edgar Quero with 5 pickoffs this season. Two balls and a strike. Big swing and a miss on the cutter. All the scoring in this game was done after the 3rd. White Sox scoring their lone run in the in the second, taking a 1-0 lead. Yankees answered with 3 in the second, 2 in the 3rd. A 5-1 score. Fastball in there, strike 3. Sox with 6 outs.
him and Devin Williams will have the top of the White Sox lineup. And 1, 2, 3, my draw starting it off, and Austin Wells behind the plate now.
So the 8th inning we go. This half inning is brought to you by Xfinity Internet. And the White Sox are looking for some production to have the top 3 in the order. They combined 0 for 9 so far here tonight. My drop with a strikeout. Grounded out to short and grounded out to first. Oh, 2. Reach to poke this one into right field as Judge is there for the first out in the 8th.
Timeout for the upcoming schedule presented by Toyota. Let's go places. One more in the Bronx tomorrow night. And then it's off to Washington, D.C. to play the Nationals for 3 to close out the season.
It's kind of wild to think. Just 4 more games in the regular season after tonight. Such a different feel this second half has been like. More competitive, more fun, more promise for the future.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to see, right? More fun to call the games, too.
Oh, without a doubt. Even Andrew Benintendi kind of talked about it recently when he went on the IL. Said last year the big difference was guys were kind of ready to go home at the end of last year. And he said this year there is a fight and a more camaraderie that he's felt inside the clubhouse with his guys, with his team. And it's been more fun to show up to work every day.
That's also, though, what Will Venable's been preaching, right? September, we're not hitting the brakes. Find a way to just push through, and that's the mentality you've got to have if you want to be a winning ball club in this league. Not only do you want to be in meaningful games here next year, but you want to find a way to get that playoffs and go deep.
Curtis Mead lines this one to center as Grisham is there for out number 2.
That's not a mentality that you get by just showing up and getting into September and playing well. It's a mentality that you build on year after year, and that's what Will's trying to do. And I'd say overall, you got to like the direction that they've been going, especially the second half.
It's also something that everybody can understand. Whatever workplace you go to, when there's people you like, when there's people you enjoy showing up with, when there's people who work hard around you, it's just more fun. It's just a more enjoyable experience. And it's certainly easy to say, yeah, these guys make a lot of money. They should be able to perform at a high level no matter what. But the truth of the matter is they're all humans. They're all people. And when you like the person who is next to you in the locker room taking ground balls with, you just perform at a different level. Oh, 2 to Caro. The first ball of the inning that Devin Williams has thrown since coming out of the bullpen. I mean, you think about some of the good teams that you've been on. Has the camaraderie made a difference in those teams?
Yeah, I mean, good and bad teams sometimes have good camaraderie and you want to play, but there is a meaningful difference in winning teams and losing teams. Winning teams come to the park and they expect to win. Losing teams just don't have that. It's hoping to win, right? And so when you're creating the atmosphere that Will wants over the course of a year, moving into another year, and trying to build on that, it's got to be the same mentality every day. It can't be here, there, one day, and gone the next. It has to be the same day in and day out, and that's how you build a winning team and a winning mentality.
Guys were pissed last night by losing that game. That's the winning mentality that you're talking about. 3-2. Fouled off by Caro.
Yeah, they should have had that one last night. That was a tough one. It's tough because they get in position to win the game. They should win the game, and then it gets taken from them. Next year, they're going to have to find a way to win some of those one-run games. They had a lot of A lot of struggles with that this year, and that's to be expected with a young team, but they're in these games. Next year, they're going to have to figure out a way to win them.
Tapper off the plate. Fair ball as Goldschmidt steps on the bag. We go to the bottom of the 8th with the Sox down 4.
He's got a sweet swing. When he does it right, it is a pretty thing to behold.
In order to find out what the kids are doing on TikTok, we're going to have to check in with Brooke.
Yeah, I was about to say, the only thing I get from TikTok is from Brooke. And whenever she sends it to our family feed, I can never see it.
I can't even open that stuff. No. Big whiff on the sweeper. Cam Boozer gets the ground ball to the right side as Mydroth gets the first out here in this bottom of the 8th inning. It is time now for a preview of White Sox postgame live presented by Yingling. We check in with Chuck and Ozzie. All right, guys, thanks so much. Looking forward to the post-game show as Anthony Volpe takes strike one. 0-2 from Boozer. Well, the Pirates have now retaken the lead, 3-2, going to the bottom of the 10th in Cincinnati over the Reds. It is Boozer fielding, running over to first, will make the underhand toss, and there's 2 away. Blackburn, David Bednar. Once again, a couple righties getting warm for the Yankees. And if the Yankees look up at the scoreboard, they will see it is a final in Toronto. The Red Sox with a 7-1 win. As Boston has won the first 2 games of that series. And the Yankees with a chance to tie the Blue Jays atop the AL East. Cleveland also with a 5-1 lead over Detroit in the bottom of the 7th. It just feels like at this point, the Guardians have all the momentum. They are going to take the AL Central.
Yeah. Be shocked if they don't. It's not even that they have all the momentum. It's the Tigers have none. And that is a bad feeling.
Well, the Guardians have officially set the modern-day record for the largest deficit overcome to tie or take the division lead. They were down 15 and a half games back on July the 8th.
Wow. That is just wild.
15 and a half back. Yeah. Stephen Kwan talked about it last night, said maybe we're just a little delusional, but we really feel like we can do this thing. They're not looking so delusional anymore. Cam Boozer trying to put an end to this 8th inning. 3-2. And this is below the zone, ball 4. Well, if this score holds, that would mean the Yankees would wrap up win number 90 this season. They'd be the 4th team in Major League Baseball to reach that mark. Brewers, Phillies, and the Blue Jays, each with 90 wins. Runner goes. Grisham swinging. Deep fly ball, right center field. Back it goes, and it is gone. 34th home run of the season for Trent Grisham. And the Yankees now take a commanding 7-1 lead here in this 8th inning.
That 2-out walk comes back to bite Boozer. Grisham having a career year. Fastball right there, down and in, and Grisham all over it. Hits his ball into the Yankee bullpen, and it's now 7-1.
That means Aaron Judge gets another at bat here tonight. Judge is 2 for 3, a home run, a single, and a walk. And he goes big fly again. This one to right center field. Number 51 for Aaron Judge this season. It's his second home run tonight, and the Yankees go back-to-back here in the 8th inning.
Well, the swing of the gavel here in New York tonight. Aaron Judge with his second home run of the night, and it was a no-doubter to right center field. He's probably going to get himself a little curtain call after that.
Listen to this crowd here in the Bronx. That is the 8th time this year that Aaron Judge has been part of a back-to-back home run effort. And you just can't make mistakes against this team, that 2-out walk. Bellinger, center. And the Sox down to their final 3.
But of late, he is trending in the right direction.
For the White Sox, it'll be 4, 5, 6 to the plate in this 9th inning with Miguel Vargas leading it off. Coming on is Grisham. And one away to start this 9th inning. Well, offensively, White Sox knew it was going to be a tough task, going up against Max Fried tonight. And the White Sox with just 4 hits collectively, putting up 1 run.
Yeah, and 2 of them have come from this guy right here, Colson Montgomery, a single and a double. And he's got an opportunity to add on to his wonderful couple games so far in the Bronx.
You know, we think about the home runs from Colson Montgomery this season, but this is a performance that he can circle and look back to as a source of pride. 2 hits off a tough lefty here tonight.
Yep. And when you're a dude, doesn't matter if it's righty or lefty, you hit no matter what. And that's what he's proven tonight. He can be that guy.
It was interesting. Before the game, he admitted that he had a competition earlier in the season with Luis Robert Jr. on who would finish with more home runs this season. Obviously, Robert Jr. on the injured list, so he's going to beat him. But he said if he gets to 25 home runs, Robert Jr. will give him a little something.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You better get on it.
And you know Robert Jr.'s a generous guy.
25 homers total?
Total, so he's got 6 more to go.
No, but like in the whole season. So he hit
the rest of this season.
No, I know, but did he hit homers in the minors?
No, that doesn't count.
Okay, well.
Oh, that one goes off the leg of Montgomery.
Just underneath the calf. That did not feel good. He's going to get pronged after the game. Little prongs, laser. A lot of different stuff going on that leg after this one.
One-two to Montgomery. Sinker in there, strike 3.
This four-seamer, top of the zone, pretty good spot. You see that little bit of, I said four-seamer, looks like it had a little bit more run on it. Off the plate in, and then runs back over the inner third and gets Colson.
Last chance, Lenyn Sosa. As he slashes this one out of play, strike 1. Sosa drove in the only run tonight for the Sox. Back in the second inning with a sac fly RBI. And Sosa says we're not done just yet. Picks up his first hit. We had 2 outs here in the 9th inning.
Little jam job right there, but he does a good job of staying through that baseball. Nice liner to left center, and White Sox not done yet.
So a pinch hitter at the plate will be Will Robertson.
Well, if his jawline is any indication, this is going to be a hit.
Is that the indicator now? Pops it up.
Oh, no.
And that's going to do it. White Sox had an early 1-0 lead, but it was all Yankees with Aaron Judge belting 2 home runs tonight. And the Sox fall in Game 2 of this series, 8-1.
Yeah, started off not well. They got out of the first inning, but then it was just all Yankees from there on out. It's a learning experience for the White Sox. They're going to have to find a way to come back tomorrow and see if they can scratch a win from another tough lefty, Carlos Rodon.
All right, so that'll do it here in the Bronx. Thanks for joining us here on this Wednesday night for Brooke Fletcher, Gordon Beckham. I am John Schriffen, and as our final now, Yankees with an 8-1 win over the White Sox. White Sox postgame live presented by Yingling comes your way next. Chuck.